The Silent Guardians.
Admiral Alina Santos stood silently on the observation deck of Lunar Base Alpha, her gaze locked on the vibrant blue marble of Earth suspended below. 50 years had passed since first contact with the Veil Collective, and 30 since the secretive launch of Project Aegis. The immense burden of responsibility bore down on her. She was among only a dozen individuals in the solar system who knew the entire truth. "Admiral, the Veil's diplomatic vessel is inbound," announced Captain Chen via the quantum comm. "Authenticate their credentials." "Standard protocol," Santos replied calmly. A faint smile crossed her lips. The Veil adhered strictly to procedure, never suspecting that every visit, every agreement, every cultural outreach was meticulously staged. Humanity's greatest deception was its feigned inferiority. Buried beneath the moon's surface, quantum supercomputers far beyond the Veil's comprehension monitored data from millions of concealed sensors scattered across the galaxy. The immense complex, publicly labeled as a research outpost, was actually the command hub of Earth's concealed military dominance. "Docking clearance granted," Santos said, her tone carrying the practiced neutrality of a low-ranking officer. "Ensure our guests receive the expected courtesies." The Veil vessel glided in, elegant and deliberate, its crystalline hull scattering solar light in dazzling patterns that continued to mesmerize Earth's citizens. But what the Veil didn't realize was that human engineers had already surpassed their crystalline tech long ago. They simply kept their discoveries hidden. Ambassador Zarin of the Veil Collective stepped from the craft, their fluid, translucent form adapting to artificial gravity. "Admiral Santos, we bring warm regards from the Collective," came the melodic voice, tinged with the subtle arrogance Santos had grown used to over the decades. "Welcome back to Luna, Ambassador," she replied, flawlessly slipping into her role. "We're honored by your presence." As they strolled through the base's corridors, Zarin observed the quaint human devices, unaware that the supposedly outdated sensor arrays were actively collecting high-level data on Veil biology and tech with each step. "Humanity's development has impressed us greatly," Zarin said, with the usual condescending cadence. "Though much remains ahead, your potential is promising." Santos nodded politely, masking a smirk. Beneath their feet, in hidden vaults, humanity's real accomplishments lay in wait. Quantum-locked vaults held weapons that defied conventional physics, and automated factories silently built spacecraft that no known Veil ship could outmatch. As the tour unfolded, Zarin made familiar offers of cooperation, thinly veiled attempts to keep humanity dependent on Veil innovation while surveilling their progress. But Santos knew better. Every device the Veil gifted to Earth was swiftly reverse-engineered, enhanced, and added to Project Aegis. Each self-important lecture Zarin delivered was absorbed and reimagined, converted into breakthroughs the Veil couldn't begin to grasp. By sunset, as Earth's curve dipped below the horizon, Santos received a discreet neural ping, a quantum-encrypted signal embedded in a technology the Veil assumed humanity wouldn't master for another few centuries. The message was brief but urgent.
Motion detected on the outer rim. Pattern match, 97%.
Timeline acceleration may be required. Santos maintained her diplomatic smile. While her mind raced, the Veil were moving earlier than expected, but humanity was ready. Project Aegis have been preparing for this moment for 3 decades, Ambassador Santos said, her voice carefully modulated. "We look forward to continuing our peaceful relationship with the
Collective as Zarin ship departed Santos.
Activated her secure link to Earth's Defense Council signal detected. Begin Phase 1 of Operation Wash Fire across the solar system. Hidden facilities hung
To life in the asteroid belt massive.
Construction yards shed their camouflage.
Fields for system checks beneath Mars. Polarized caps weapon systems beyond.
Anything the Veil could imagine powered up for testing. Humanity had learned from Earth's history the price of unpreparedness, the danger of trusting to it. They had smiled and bowed and played the part of the promising young species, all while building the greatest defensive network the galaxy had ever seen. The Veil thought they were watching humanity's development. They never realized they were the ones being watched, studied, and prepared for. As Santos looked out at the stars, she knew that humanity's greatest test was approaching, and they were ready. The game of deception was nearly over. Soon the galaxy would learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in the technology they displayed but in the power they kept hidden. Shattered peace.
The attack came without warning. Proxima.
Colonies' defense systems detected the Veil warships moments before they dropped out of quantum space, their crystalline holes glowing with charged
Weapons. Commander Maya Rodriguez watched from the Colonies control center as
dozens of ships emerged from the void. Far more than any peaceful diplomatic mission would require all civilians to shelter immediately, she ordered, her voice steady despite the surge of
adrenaline. Iniziate protocol Omega as
emergency sirens wailed across the colony. Rodriguez activated a quantum communications channel that officially didn't exist. Control, this is Proxima. We have visitors. The Veil ships moved with predatory grace, spreading out in attack formation. Their first communication came on all frequencies. Primitive species require guidance. Resistance will only increase the necessary correction. Rodriguez has allowed herself a grim smile as she triggered the colony's defensive protocols, not the basic shields the Veil knew about, but the real
ones. The alien first volley of energy
weapons splashed harmlessly against quantum reinforced barriers that shouldn't have existed in orbit. Automated defense platforms that had
masqueraded simple communications relays
revealed their true nature. Advanced targeting systems acquired locks on the Veil ships while maintaining their
disguise as primitive technology. This is your final warning. The Veil commander
transmitted. Submit to collective
authority or face extinction. Rodriguez response was simple. No, the battle that
followed would later be studied in military acmes across human space. The Veil, confident in their technological superiority, pressed their attack with arrogant precision. Their ships moved in formations designed to overwhelm what they thought were primitive human defenses. Instead, they found themselves facing technology that matched and exceeded their own. Quantum-tipped missiles phased through their shields. Energy weapons they thought humans incapable of developing carved through their whole armor deep within Proxima.
Colony bunkers. Rodriguez coordinated with Earth Command. The Veil task force
is fully committed, she reported. All pieces are in position. Admiral Santos's
voice came through the quantum link.
Understood, Commander. Operation Prometheus is authorized. Show them what humanity can really do. Rodriguez activated systems that had lain dormant for decades across Proxima Colony. Seemingly decorative structures revealed themselves as weapon platforms far beyond anything the Veil had ever
encountered. The colony central spire,
thought to be a simple administrative building, split apart to reveal a massive quantum cannon target their command ship. Rodriguez ordered, let's give them something to think about. The quantum cannon fired its beam, cutting through space in ways that defied conventional physics. The Veil flagships, supposedly
impenetrable shields, shattered like
glass, its crystalline and hole cracking under forces it was never designed to
withstand. Panic spread through the Veil
fleet as they realized the terrible truth. They hadn't been attacking a defenseless colony. They had walked into a trap, decades in the making. Every building, every structure, even the colony's layout itself had been designed for this moment. This is impossible. The Veil commander transmitted their usual arrogance, replaced by fear. Your species is not capable of this level of technology. Rodriguez's response was cold. You should have asked yourselves why we seem so willing to remain technologically inferior. Did you really think humanity would leave its colonies defenseless as the battle turned decisively in humanity's favor? Rodriguez received new orders from Earth Command. Phase 2 is authorized. Launch the quantum
beacon from hidden silos beneath Proxima.
Surface. Dozens of small sleek vessels emerge. They accelerated to impossible speed, scattering in all directions. Through quantum space each carried the same message to humanity's other colonies and hidden military installations. The veil had shown their true nature. The time for hiding was over. The Veil fleet attempted to retreat but found their quantum drives mysteriously malfunctioning. Human technology they had dismissed as primitive was now interfering with their most basic systems. You attacked us believing we were weak. Rodriguez transmitted to the remaining Veil ships. That was your first mistake. Your second was giving us time to prepare. We've been ready for this day for 30 years. As the last Veil ship surrendered, Rodriguez sent her final
report to Earth Command. Proxima secure.
The deception is over. Operation Prometheus is ready to proceed across human space. Hidden facilities began powering up ships that had masqueraded
as simple freighters in transports.
Revealed their true nature. The greatest military force humanity had ever created was awakening, and the galaxy was about to learn just how dangerous it was to underestimate Earth. Operation Prometheus. Fleet Admiral Victor Chen stood on the bridge of the TSS Hyperion watching as Earth's hidden armada emerged from its decades-long slumber. Throughout the Sol system, massive doors opened in asteroid bases. Gas giant storms parted to reveal shipyards, and orbital platforms shed their civilian disguises. Status report. Chen commanded, his voice carrying across
The Quantum Link Command Network call.
Battle groups reporting ready. Admiral. His EXO responded. Operation Prometheus is proceeding exactly as planned. The Veil still hasn't detected our main fleet formations on his neural display. Shin watched as thousands of ships took their positions. Each vessel represented decades of careful preparation, incorporating technologies that humanity had not only reverse-engineered from the Veil but had improved upon in ways the aliens had never imagined. Signal from
Earth Defense Command. The communications
officer announced Admiral Santos is online. Santos' hologram appeared on the
bridge. Air expression grave. The Veil
have taken the bait. Victor, their main fleet is mobilizing exactly as our predictive model suggested. They're moving to crush what they believe is our only defended colony. Chen allowed himself a small smile. How many ships are they committing? 5,000 vessels. Their entire rapid response force. They still think Proxima Colony's defense was a
fluke. Samiden cache of advanced
technology rather than proof of our true capabilities. Perfect. Chen turned to his
tactical display. All fleet elements execute attack pattern theta. Let's show
them what humanity has been hiding all these years. Across the Sol system, humanity's hidden fleet began to move. Ships equipped with quantum drives far
more advanced than anything the Veil
possessed, accelerated to speeds that should have been impossible. Their formation was unlike anything seen in galactic warfare, a three-dimensional matrix of overlapping fields of fire and defensive screens. The Veil fleet has entered the Proxima system. Tactical reported they're deploying into standard combat formation. Chen nodded. There
still fighting the last war launch.
Operation Shadowfall. Throughout the Proxima system, automated platforms that had been dormant for years suddenly activated. Quantum fields disrupted Veil sensors, while advanced ECM systems fed false data to their tactical networks. The aliens found themselves fighting blind. Their supposedly superior technology rendered useless by human
countermeasures. Multiple quantum
signatures detected. Sensors announced the Veil are calling for reinforcements right on schedule. Santos said, her hologram flickering with barely contained
satisfaction. Activate phase 2. Chen gave
the order that humanity had been preparing to give for 3 decades. All ships execute jump sequence. Alpha show them what Earth can really do. The human fleet move is 1,000s of quantum drives engaging simultaneously in a display of coordination that would have been impossible with the technology the Veil thought humans possessed. They emerged from quantum space in perfect
Attack formation surrounding the Veil.
fleet in a three-dimensional sphere of overwhelming firepower. Open all frequencies. Chen commanded, let them hear us. His voice echoed across every veil.
Communications channel, this is Fleet.
Admiral Victor Chen of the Terran Defense Force. For 30 years you've believed us to be primitive, inferior, worthy only of your patronizing guidance. Today that illusion ends. The human fleet opened fire with weapons that shouldn't have existed. Quantum-tipped missiles phased through veil shields as if they weren't.
Their gravitic beams twisted space
itself, crushed ing veil ships like paper. Advanced AI systems predicted and countered every alien tactic before it could be executed. Impossible. The Veil Fleet commander transmitted their usual arrogance, replaced by dawning horror. Your species you couldn't have hidden. This level of technology we did more than hide it. Chen responded, we improved
upon everything you thought you were.
Teaching us every trade agreement, every technological exchange we were studying. You learning your weaknesses, preparing for the day you showed your true nature. The battle quickly became a rout. Veil ships designed to fight enemies using known technology found themselves facing weapons and tactics they couldn't understand, let alone counter. Their
Formations broke apart under the relentless human assault. Admiral Santos.
Hologram interjected, we're detecting quantum signatures from multiple Veil core worlds. They're mobilizing their entire fleet. Chen's expression hardened, good signal. All hidden bases throughout their territory execute Operation Prometheus Phase 3 across Veil space. Seemingly innocent human trading posts and cultural centers revealed their true nature. Quantum beacons activated, disrupting Veil fleet movements. Automated defense platforms emerged from hiding, cutting off critical supply lines and communication nodes. Send the final message, Chen ordered. Let them understand exactly what they've awakened throughout Veil space. Every communication system received the same transmission. For generations we prepared. While you saw weakness, we built strength. While you offered patronizing guidance, we surpassed your every achievement. You thought humanity needed to be taught its place in the galaxy. Instead you're about to learn yours, the art of deception. Su
Commander Zarlak of the Veil
Collective stood in the central chamber of the High Command, watching as reports of devastating losses poured in from across their territory. The holographic displays showed scene after scene of
impossible defeat, human forces wielding
technology that shouldn't exist, executing strategies that defied conventional warfare. How he demanded his crystalline form, pulsing with agitation. How did we miss this high strategist? Veril manipulated the tactical displays. With trembling appendages they deceived us completely. Supreme Commander, every assessment we made, every conclusion we drew, it was all part of their plan. The displays showed footage from dozens of
battles, human ships moving with
impossible precision. Their weapons bypassing Veil defenses as if they
weren't their quantum communications.
Networks that the Veil thought impenetrable were being hacked and subverted. With these show me the historical analysis. Zarek ordered. New images appeared. Decades of human development carefully re-examined. What they had interpreted as primitive spacecraft were actually advanced vessels in disguise. Supposedly simple mining operations have been cover for massive military installations. Even human cultural centers scattered throughout Veil space had been hiding sophisticated surveillance systems. Their entire civilization was a masquerade. Varel explained, while we thought we were guiding their development, they were studying us, learning our weaknesses, preparing for this moment on Earth. Admiral Santos stood in the strategic
command center, directing humanities. Grand revelation holographic displays
showed the Veil Empire crumbling under. Precisely calculated strikes each attack demonstrated a different aspect of human advancement, systematically destroying the Veil's sense of superiority, status of operation. Mindweaver, she asked, proceeding as planned. Her intelligence chief reported, "Our quantum AI systems are decoding their military networks faster than they can encrypt them. The psychological impact is significant." Santos nodded. This, too, had been part of the plan, not just defeating the Veil militarily but shattering their worldview. Every victory was choreographed to reveal another layer of human capability, another piece of the decades-long deception in deep space. Admiral Chin's fleet continued its
Advance dei Perionesse quantum sensors. Detected a massive Veil battle group.
attempting to form a defensive line around their core worlds there, adapting to our basic tactics. His tactical officer reported, implementing countermeasures based on our initial attacks. Chen smiled, just as predicted.
Signal all ships execute fase 4 show.
Them what we've been holding back. The human fleet suddenly shifted tactics, their formations flowing like liquid metal into entirely new configurations. Ships previously acting as support vessels revealed themselves as advanced battle cruisers. Weapons that had seemed powerful but comprehensible were replaced by systems that bent reality itself. Message from Veil High Command. Communications announced they're requesting a ceasefire. Put them through. Chen ordered. Supreme Commander Zarek hologram appeared on the bridge, his crystalline form dimmed with defeat. Why? Zarlok asked, his usual arrogance replaced by genuine bewilderment. Why maintain this deception for so long? Why not simply reveal your true strength? Because we learned from history, Chen replied. Every advanced civilization that openly displayed its power became a target. Instead, we chose to be underestimated. While you saw what you expected to see, a primitive species struggling to reach the stars, we built something unprecedented. Santos's voice joined the conversation from Earth. Every patronizing lesson you offered was absorbed and improved upon. Every technology you thought you were carefully controlling was reverse engineered and enhanced. We turned your arrogance into our great advantage. The displays showed more human ships emerging from quantum space, each revealing new capabilities that the Veil had never imagined possible. Their entire understanding of physics and warfare was being rewritten with each passing moment.
Your civilization spans galaxies, Zarak
said. You could have been empire builders.
We chose a different path, Santos
responded. We remembered Earth's history, how often the seemingly weak overcame the powerful through preparation and strategy. We didn't want to build an empire. We wanted to ensure humanity would never be subjugated. Chen watched as more Veil formations surrendered, their will to fight broken not just by superior firepower but by the psychological impact of realizing just how completely they have been deceived. You thought you were teaching us about the galaxy, he transmitted. In reality, you were showing us exactly how not to reveal our true nature. Dawn of a new era.
The Great Holofertes Unity Complex
buzzed with tension as representatives from 30 galactic civilizations gathered
for the first Interstellar Concordat.
Admiral Santos stood at the speakers
podium, her dress uniform gleaming under
the artificial lights. The past month had reshaped the galaxy's political landscape more dramatically than the previous 1,000 years. The age of deception is over, she began, her voice carrying across the vast chamber. But so, too, is the age of dominion among the
assembled delegates de Veil.
Representatives sat quietly there, crystalline forms dulled by the weight of recent events. Supreme Commanders Lack, now serving as their chief diplomat, watched with a mixture of respect and lingering disbelief. Humanity's revelation has shaken the foundations of Galactic Society Santos continued. Many of you are wondering what happens next. What does Earth plan to do with its proven superiority? The room fell silent. Some species had already offered unconditional surrender while others had sought immediate alliances. All of them were waiting to learn humanity's true intentions. Admiral Chen, standing at the back of the hall, activated his mural.
Link to the Global Defense Network.
Across the solar system, humanity's full military might remain on display, a reminder of the power that had hidden in
PL Sight for so long we cuse. Cooperation over Dominion Santos.
declared. Earth has demonstrated not just technological superiority but the wisdom to use that power responsibly. We could have revealed ourselves through conquest. Instead, we acted only when forced to defend ourselves. Holographic displays activated throughout the hall, showing
The true extent of human advancement.
quantum engineering that made veil
Technology look primitive medical.
breakthroughs that could revolutionize life across the galaxy. Clean energy systems that could transform dying worlds. This knowledge Santos's gestured to the displays will be shared not as a tool of control as the veil attempted, but as a foundation for genuine collaboration. Zarek rose his voice, carrying the formal tones of diplomatic protocol. The collective acknowledges its errors. We mistook patience for weakness, preparation for primitive development. Humanity has taught us humility, and what have you learned from this humility? Santos asked, though she already knew the answer, that true strength lies not in displaying power. Zarek responded, but in knowing when and how to use it. The chamber erupted in discussion as Santos laid out Earth's proposal, a new galactic order built not on dominion but on
Mutual respect and genuine cooperation.
human technology would be shared, but with safeguards to prevent its use for conquest or oppression. In orbit, the TSS Hyperion maintained its watch as Chan observed the proceedings through his neural link. The ship's quantum sensors detected trading vessels from a dozen worlds already adopting human innovations, not given as patronizing gifts but shared as equals. Admiral his EXO reported, we're detecting quantum signatures from the galactic core. The elder species are finally responding to our revelation. Chen smiled. Even the oldest civilizations in the galaxy have been forced to re-evaluate their
Understanding of power and progress.
humanity's strategy. Had not just reshaped military doctrine but the very nature of interstellar relations. Back in the Great Hall, Santos concluded her address. Earth's deception served its purpose. It protected us until we could ensure for our survival, but humanity's greatest strength was never in our
Hidden fleets or advanced technology. It
was in our ability to learn from history, to plan for the long term, and to understand that true power lies in choosing when not to use it. The assembly rose in acknowledgement. The galaxy was entering
a new era, one shaped by the species that
had pretended to be weak while growing strong, that had absorbed punishment while building power, that had learned from everyone who estimated them. As the delegates began their deliberations on the new galactic charter, Chen received a
final transmission from Earth Command.
Across human space, hidden facilities were being reposed. Shipyards that had built engines of war now prepared to construct vessels of exploration. Weapon research centers transformed into hubs of scientific cooperation. Humanity had proven it could hide its strength. Now it would prove it could use that strength to build rather than destroy. The deception was over, but its greatest legacy would be a galaxy united not by fear of human power but by respect for human wisdom. In the end, humanity's greatest victory wasn't in the battles they won but in the peace they chose to build. The species that had mastered the art of appearing weak had taught the galaxy the true meaning of strength. The stars stretched out before them, no Longer hiding places for humanity. Secrets but beacon lighting the way to a future they would all build together.